Hey YouTube, James from the Wyvern Watch here once again with another deck profile. This is another one that I haven't yet done before on the channel. We're getting close to the end of my deck collection now. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 decks left that haven't yet been profiled. This is one of them, so after this it'll be 6 decks left. But this is my other zombie type deck, the first one being vampires, of course, one of my favourites. This one I built a while back now, but only because really of the artwork. Obviously I always say about the artwork, but I didn't really know much about the play style of this deck before I started buying before I sort of hoarding the cards together. But it turns out it's really good fun to play as well. So I just thought I'd showcase this one for you. I've obviously got these are the sleeves that came out of, I can't even remember where they came out of, but there's a few different types of sleeves that came. So I just thought I'd use those in this particular build. But yeah, Mayakashi is the deck for today. The first card being Daki, the graceful Mayakashi. She is basically what makes the deck work, because it's just one of the gimmicks on this deck is just to sort of level up synchro wise and link up different link ratings as well, and this is one of the cards that enables you to do so. So you can only control one of these, and when a Mayakashi monster is special summoned to your field from the extra deck while this card is in your graveyard, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card. Most of the monsters that I'm about to go through will also lock you into Mayakashi monsters from the extra deck anyway, so the whole extra deck is actually Mayakashi monsters. I didn't see an awful lot of point in putting anything else in fairness. But yeah, what you will notice on this particular card that it is not once per turn, so you can keep abusing this card assuming it's in the graveyard after you've synchro or link summoned. So very, very useful card, but because obviously they're so recurable, I've only gone for 2 of these. So that's the first monster. The next one is Hajun or Heijun, one or the other, the winged Mayakashi. This one is basically a search for the first one. So if this card is normal or special, you can special summon one Mayakashi monster from your deck, except Hydra, the winged Mayakashi. You can only use the effect of this guy once per turn, and it locks you into Mayakashi extra deck monsters. So what you will probably notice, from the first monster is this one is the tuner, of course, as well. Level 2, which basically means you're synchroing up in level 2s in order to do it. But it's just a little bit more interesting than anything else I've seen, really. It's a very interesting gimmick. Just the one on Shafu, the wheeled Mayakashi. So this card is normal or special. You can target one Mayakashi monster in your graveyard, except this card, and special summon in defense position and negating effects. Again, it locks you into Mayakashi monsters, but just because it's summoning from the grave, we're just going for one of those. And the last of the actual Mayakashi monsters is Yuku Musume. Now this one came out later in the sort of Archetypes release, I think. Savage Strike, was it? I can't remember what it's called now. I think it was something like Savage Strike, yeah. If you control a Mayakashi monster other than Yuki Musume, the Ice Mayakashi, while this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can special summon this card and then send one zombie monster from your deck to the graveyard. You can only use each effect of Yuki Musume once per turn, and it locks you into Mayakashi extra deck monsters once again. But obviously it means then you can dump the Daki, use whatever monsters you've got on the field to go for the synchro or link, and then special summon the Daki from the grave. Really good play, that, and like I say, really fitting, nice pretty card, and obviously a good enabler for the deck. Now the rest of the monsters are all sort of generic zombie support sort of things. So Shiranui Solitaire, fairly well known zombie card, one Glow Up Bloom, one Doom King Baldarok, sort of spread these out a little bit, and 3 Mizuki as well. So these are all just to put bodies on the field, really. And obviously, Doom King's always an interesting one because we are indeed running Zombie World as well. But yeah, it's just to really just give us a few more different options. And like I say, with it being a generic zombie deck, they work very well together. And then onto the spells, and this is one of the primary reasons why I built the whole deck. Actually, it's normally based on one card, and sure enough, Mayakashi Return it is. Again, very, very pretty artwork on this one. Hidden Summoners, this one came out of, didn't it? In fact, the Hidden Summoners was a surprising set. Actually, there's quite a lot that came out of there, in my opinion. But yeah, Mayakashi Return. So take one Mayakashi card from your deck, accept Mayakashi Return, and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. You can only activate Mayakashi Return once per turn, that's right. But Mayakashi card as opposed to Mayakashi monster, because we've got a few decent traps coming up, or spell and traps coming up, one of which is here, Ghost Meets Girl. This one's straight out of Mega Pack 2021. Sorry, just lining these up a little bit. So during the main phase, you target one zombie synchro monster you control, special summon one of your zombie monsters with the same attribute that is banished or in your graveyard, but banish it during the end phase. Also, you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn after this card resolves, except zombie monsters, and you can only activate one Ghost Meets Girl Mayakashi per turn. Excuse me. But again, it's another quick play spell, and obviously enables you to pull out the appropriate extra material to either synchro level up or go up the link ratings. One last Mayakashi spell, which is Mayakashi Winter. So monsters your opponent controls lose 100 attack and defense for each Mayakashi monster with different name in your graveyard, and you can only use each of the following effects of Mayakashi Winter once per turn, and only once that turn. Send this card and one Mayakashi monster you control to the graveyard and draw one card, or banish this card and one zombie monster from your graveyard and target one Mayakashi monster in your graveyard and special summon it. Obviously, it's a continuous spell for that reason, but just one of those. And again, I just like to run as many names as possible. I mentioned it before, but we are indeed running 3 Zombie World. Mainly because this can just do a lot of damage on its own. You know, if you some decks will obviously require the fact that they are not zombies, or they are their own type, and Zombie World, of course, will change all of that. I'm also running 2 Pots of Avarice, which is an older one, but a good one, because obviously we're just targeting 5 monsters in your graveyard and shuffle all 5 into the deck and draw 2 cards. With this deck, it shouldn't be that difficult. To mound up your monsters in the graveyard. So I thought that would be prudent. And then just 4 one-offs spell-wise. So Foolish Burial for obvious reasons, Monster Reborn, 1 Call By, and 1 for 1, because obviously we've got the which one is it? There's level 1. It's the Heijun one, the winged Mayakashi. So those are the one-offs. Sorry guys, this dog's barking again. Won't be a moment. Onto the traps then, guys. So next card is another newer one, which is Ghost Meets Girl. The Masterful Mayakashi Shiranui Saga. Bit of a mouthful. Obviously, they've done well to get all that text in the title box there. But tribute 1 Mayakashi or Shiranui Synchro or Link monster. Neither player can special summon monsters from the hand, deck, or extra deck for the rest of the turn. And you can banish this card from your graveyard and target one of your banished zombie monsters, return it to the graveyard, and then you can only use Ghost Meets Girl once per turn. So yeah, another really handy one. And again, the one that came out a little bit later, but cracking artwork again on this card. I really, really liked it when it came out, that one. And then just 2 one-offs in the trap lineup. So we've got Mayakashi Mayhem and Mayakashi Metamorphosis. So Metamorphosis, discard 1 card, target one of your Mayakashi monsters that is banished or in your graveyard, special summon it, and your opponent cannot target with card effects this turn. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck the turn you activate this card, except Mayakashi monsters, but everything else does the same, so why shouldn't that do it? And then Mayhem, if a zombie synchro monster is special summoned except from the extra deck, pardon, if a zombie synchro monster is special summoned except from the extra deck, even during the damage step, you can apply one of these following effects. You cannot apply the same effect of Mayakashi Mayhem for the rest of this turn. So draw one card. Oh right, okay. So set one Mayakashi spell track card directly from your deck. Send one monster with the lowest attack your opponent controls to the graveyard, and inflict 800 damage to your opponent. So yeah, continuous spell, but obviously there's many ways where you're going to be able to special summon from the grave, for instance, in order to get the effects from Mayhem. And last but not least, I've just got 3 Ice Dragon's Prison as well, because obviously we're changing types to zombie types. Target one monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon it to your field, but its effects are negated. Then you can banish one monster from both players' fields that have the same type as each other. You can only activate one Ice Dragon Prison once per turn. So a nice easy one, especially when Zombie World is on the field. That is the main deck, guys. Thank you very much. But like I say, just rattling on with the extra deck. We'll start with the linked lineup. So yeah, we've got the 2 linked 2s, which is Yuki Onna the Ice Mayakashi, 2 linked 3s, Yuki Onna the Icicle Mayakashi, and one of the linked 4, which is Yuki Onna the Absolute Zero Mayakashi. Obviously their effects get more and more devastating as they sort of link up and get higher and higher, but it's just the artwork. These are incredibly good. These really worthwhile putting it together if this is what you go for. You know, Yuki Onna the Ice Mayakashi, that's one of the original ones. Very pretty. And then onto the synchros. Basically I've got 2 of each level, so we've got 2 level 3s. I'll have to remind myself from the names now, but Oboro Guruma the Wheeled Mayakashi, that's the Earth variant. The level 5 goes up to a Poisonous Mayakashi, let's just call it that. Tengu the Winged Mayakashi, that's the level 7. The level 9 is Yoko the Graceful Mayakashi, which I think is that was the sort of cover card for the set, I think, from Hidden Summoners, if I'm right in saying. I won't go through all the effects. If you need to run through them all, like I say, there's a fair amount of them. And then level 11 as well, the last of it is the Skeletal Mayakashi. Gasha Dug, no, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that one, but that's the level 11 one. And like I say, guys, that is it for the extra deck, because there's literally all Mayakashi cards on this one. And that is it indeed for the deck profile. So thank you once again for tuning in and listening to me rabbit on about a deck I'm not 100% on. But like I say, I built it mainly because of the artwork. I really love the concept of it. I think it's very different gimmick as well, which is I really like, something like that. But yeah, put in the comments if you're a Mayakashi faithful, and if I've gone wrong with something or I've missed something out, feel free to let me know. I've had quite a few comments recently on my Cosmo deck, 1 or 2 cards missing from that, primarily the Psychic Processor and the Psychic Arsenal, which I didn't even know existed until someone put in the comments on my latest profile. So you can be assured that I've got those now, and will be adapting my list ready for the next update on the channel. Guys, thanks once again, and we'll see you for the next profile. Cheers, bye.